Decarceration is almost impossible if formerly incarcerated individuals don't have the necessary skills and resources to avoid returning to prison, including housing and job assistance programs. A system frequently resistant to change. Graham v. Florida, 560 U.S. 48, 2010, decided that it is a violation of the Eighth Amendment's cruel and unusual punishment clause for a juvenile offender to be sentenced to life without parole for a non-homicidal offense. Individuals age out of the juvenile system when they turn 25. Something I'm just learning today. My son is 22 and was charged as an adult when he was 20 years old, and prior to that my son was just sitting in juvenile detention for some trouble, but he was soon released and back a year later. I blame the lack of programming to be a direct cause of future recidivism. Based on the available statistics, without prison reform, proper re-entry counseling, programming, and education, we can't. 47% of people released from prison in 2005 were rearrested within 3 years, Prison Policy Initiative. In California, that number is closer to 65% returning to the CA system, according to a 2021 report, California Innocence Project. Even the most chronic or hardened inmates have basic rights that are protected by the U.S. Constitution. If you are facing incarceration, or if you have a family member or friend who is in prison or jail, you should know about inmates' rights. The right to humane facilities and conditions. Inmates also have the right to be free, under the Eighth Amendment of cruel and unusual punishment. The term noted by the Supreme Court is any punishment that can be considered inhumane treatment or that violates the basic concept of a person's dignity may be found to be cruel and unusual. For example, an inmate held in a 150-year-old prison infested with vermin, fire hazards, and a lack of toilets would exemplify a constitutional violation. The Eastern Correctional Institution, ECI, is a medium-security state prison for men located in Westover, Somerset County, Maryland, owned and operated by the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. Eastern has a minimum security annex, completed in 1993, and housing some 560 inmates. The total capacity of the minimum and medium security sections is around 3,400. With an actual population of about 3,300, this is Maryland's largest prison. And ECI jail where my son is very understaffed and overcrowded. Inmates are the right to appropriate mental health care. Inmates who need mental health care are entitled to receive that treatment in a manner that is appropriate under the circumstances. The treatment must be adequate. Yet my son has not seen anyone for any mental health treatment for over 3 years since he was locked up. My son is only 22 years old. Also, inmates are entitled, under the Due Process Clause of the Constitution, to be free from unauthorized and intentional deprivation of their personal property by prison officials. Yet my son's tablet was taken from him for a reason when I called property to find out why. Then when he was given a tablet back, the tablet was water damaged. As a result, we pay other people just to talk to my son. Justice for my son Malik Collins.